This nation has done much to shape and improve the world. We will continue to lead, but the world is changing around us, especially in the littorals. Along vast coastlines, large populations are still growing, intensifying the competition for resources and trade to sustain them. Political upheavals are adding to the problems, prompting mass migrations of people and undermining age-old ways of life. Natural disasters cause ever higher levels of economic destruction and human suffering as areas develop and modernize. Some nations are failing, falling into lawlessness and violence that spark internal unrest and threaten the stability of their neighbors. Other countries are becoming more assertive, seeking to limit or deny others access to the global commons, threatening both regional stability and U.S. strategic interests. To continue protecting the global commons and our national interests, the United States needs a military capable of many things: promoting peace, deterring threats, and defeating aggressors. At a time when our overall force is shrinking, this increasing military workload is driving our geographic combatant commanders to seek forces that are agile, flexible, and capable across a wide range of tasks. Responsiveness and versatility, the operational trademarks of the Marine Corps, are in high demand. From our expeditionary heritage, Marines instinctively know how to move fast, adapt on the go, thrive in chaos, and live in the most austere conditions. They know how to partner effectively with our friends and deal lethally with our adversaries as needed to accomplish the mission at hand. We don't need to reinvent the Marine Corps to do those things. Our challenge is to find different and better ways of doing them, so we'll be exactly what every geographic combatant commander wants: the right force, in the right place, at the right time. The Marine Corps has already moved out on this front. Expeditionary Force 21 is our plan to identify what we need to do over the next 10 years and to develop the capabilities to make it happen. 3 major factors led us to this point. First, we looked at the emerging operating environment. While we must always account for the possibility of a big, long war, the changing world points strongly towards a broader, ongoing role for the Marine Corps as the nation's crisis response force. That means routinely cooperating with friends and allies on their home ground, working closely to improve stability and security. It means quickly arriving to offer civil support, deliver humanitarian assistance, and provide disaster relief when emergencies overwhelm local authorities. It means rapidly responding to crises to defuse or contain a problem before it gets out of hand. And sometimes it means flowing in larger forces with the punch and staying power to prevail in combat. Second, we had to respect our country's very real need for budgetary discipline. We are open-minded about new ideas to get the most out of the people and equipment we already have. Where advances in science and technology are needed, we will only back the most cost-effective solutions. Third, we knew that Expeditionary Force 21 had to be more than just a plan. It had to deliver the goods. We'll use war games and exercises to identify shortfalls and excesses and prioritize our spending accordingly. The Marine Corps Service Health Assessment will provide a yearly checkup on how we are doing, so that our force development process can identify and address capabilities and gaps that will ensure our future readiness and combat advantages. We can't yet know how the details will play out across a 10-year planning horizon, but we do know the broad outlines Expeditionary Force 21's impact in 6 key areas. 1. We are changing our posture to have 1/3 of Marine Corps operating forces always positioned forward. This gives the geographic combatant commanders more ability to immediately influence a situation with forces already on the ground or close enough to respond quickly. 2. We are adjusting our organizational structure by orienting units to specific regions. Marines will stay connected to a theater's staff and be continuously engaged in routine support activities among our partners. This will build strong relationships that increase trust and improve our planning. Each region will have both alert and ready forces that can respond within hours and arrive with a working sense of the people and the place and the problems. 3. We will design modular forces within the framework provided by our unique military organization, the Marine Air-Ground Task Force. For example, we're expanding our ability to employ company landing teams dispersed across an increasingly larger operating area. We are developing these teams for long-range employment with digital interoperability and shared awareness to ensure success in a wide range of missions. We will create special-purpose Marine air-ground task forces with just the right mix of capabilities for routine support actions with our regional partners. To help the geographic combatant commanders adapt to escalating crises, we are refining the concept of operations for our Marine Expeditionary Brigades. Forward deployed and rapidly deploying forces will come together at the scene of a crisis, forming a unit sized exactly to the mission at hand. The building block design of the Marine Air-Ground Task Force lets it increase in size and complexity without losing cohesion. 4. Our standing Marine Expeditionary Brigades will be able to move a fly-in command element to a crisis area within hours. Each fly-in command element will be capable of exercising command and control of forward postured forces already on scene, as well as other forces rapidly responding to a crisis, in order to build a robust organization ready to perform a wide range of missions, to include forcible entry. This command element can also provide the core of a headquarters for a larger Marine Expeditionary Force, a joint task force, or a multinational task force. The 3-star general who commands a Marine Expeditionary Force is capable of commanding a joint or multinational task force. This smooth transition of authority will give the geographic combatant commander more continuity and consistency in planning and operations. 5. While always cognizant of our role in the joint force, we will strengthen our partnerships with the expeditionary forces from the Navy and Special Operations Command. We want to assign knowledgeable Marines to the Navy's maritime operations centers so that plans and operations accurately account for our capabilities. We will explore ways to integrate Marine headquarters with their Navy counterparts, especially the Marine Expeditionary Brigades and the Navy Expeditionary Strike Groups. We will also continue to build relationships with Special Operations Forces, to include integration with the Theater Special Operations Commands. Marines and Special Operations Forces share a warrior spirit and expeditionary ethos that breed effectiveness in a wide range of missions. 6. The Marine Corps is an organization built for combat. Marine Corps forces conduct military engagement, deterrence, and crisis response operations, to include forcible entry as a matter of routine. Operating as Marine air-ground task forces, we are trained and equipped to exploit land, air, sea, cyber, and space domains to achieve the desired result. When required, we are capable of employing a reinforced division, air wing, and logistics group for major operations and/or stability operations. If war comes in and around the littorals, we must be able to fight and win. Expeditionary Force 21 will guide us towards the force we need to do that, a force that can conduct future amphibious operations at the time and place of our choosing. The ideas and principles derived from operational maneuver from the sea and ship-to-objective maneuver are ways to gain the initiative by avoiding enemy strengths, bypassing fixed defenses, and exploiting opportunities through surprise, speed, and agility. To execute these concepts, we must be able to operate and sustain Marine forces from a broader set of platforms. We will explore ways to launch assaults from a combination of traditional amphibious ships and modern sea bases. We need to expand our ability to move and support our forces across greater distances against threats with ever longer ranged weapons. We are looking for a new generation of surface connectors that can add to the operational reach we get from our current Ospreys and helicopters. Just as the Marine Air-Ground Task Force organization lets us scale up in size, it also lets us scale down when we want to reduce our visibility. We want the mobility and command and control capabilities to disperse and operate as smaller units, evading or deceiving opponents, and readily reassembling when the situation changes. And we want to be able to project our forces to seize or establish networks of advanced bases. We'll use them to deny our adversaries access or control in vital areas. In summary, Expeditionary Force 21 is the Marine Corps' 10-year plan to give the nation and its geographic combatant commanders more of what the future operating environment will require. A larger forward presence for immediate influence and better deterrence. Regionally oriented units that stay linked to theater staffs and become integral parts of plans and operations. reinforcing units that move rapidly to the scene of a crisis and form up on-site as a force scaled to the mission. Higher headquarters that naturally expand to take command and control of follow-on joint forces, and a better integrated Navy, Marine Corps team that can maneuver through contested littorals to project dominant combat power ashore. While Expeditionary Force 21 is underway, it is not a closed book on the future of the Marine Corps. It will change as we go forward. Annual updates will shape it with fresh lessons learned and new intelligence on the ever-changing environment. The sharp minds from our schools, labs, and the front lines will refine it by examining its ideas and details in frank discussions and challenging research. Working through our differences, we will all share in helping Expeditionary Force 21 achieve its ultimate objective: a Marine Corps that is always the right force in the right place at the right time.